Big oil companies, startups, and the U.S. Department of Energy are all betting that algae, the slime found in ponds, is a viable source of renewable fuel, giving new meaning to the term green energy.
There are several reasons why people are looking at algae again as biofuels. One of them is that these little photosynthetic microorganisms, sometimes referred to as pond scum, can actually produce quite a bit of oil.
Darzens estimates oil from algae can produce 10 to 100 times more energy per acre than other crops, such as soybeans or the jatropha shrub. And it doesn't affect food crops, like corn-based ethanol.
The other really huge factor here is that these organisms, because they're photosynthetic organisms, use carbon dioxide. So at the same time, you're removing some of the CO2 and reusing it for biofuel.
The Department of Energy recently renewed its interest in algae after a 12-year hiatus due to budget crunches. It's currently partnering with private companies and academics alike to study, scale up, and commercialize algae fuel. California-based Origin Oil, one of more than 150 algae startups, recently signed a cooperative agreement with the Idaho National Lab.
Origin Oil is a technology company in the algae to oil space. And what we're really there to do is to crack the code on how to industrialize it from what it currently is, which is primarily an agricultural process. By doing so, we're really going to scale it up so it can compete with petroleum.
And it's not just small alternative energy companies and academics that see the potential. Chevron, Shell, and ConocoPhillips are all currently working on projects involving algae. Even ExxonMobil CEO Rex Tillerson mentioned its promise in a recent CNBC interview.
And we have research programs in particularly focused around the potential for biodiesel from various strains of algae.
Despite its promise, experts say algae fuel is not going to commercialize overnight. Al Darzens estimates it could take between 5 and 10 years for the fuel to become a viable alternative to petroleum. Brooke Sapelsa, CNBC.com. While many commuters are sitting in rush hour traffic and cramming into subways and buses, others are opting for a more leisurely ride.
I ride my bike to work for the exercise, it saves you money, to enjoy the weather.
Cities across the U.S. have recently seen a spike in bike commuters, and businesses from New York to Chicago to San Francisco are taking notice.
In the last 12 to 24 months, seen a growing interest from the business community in finding ways that they can encourage and enable their employees to ride to work.
Companies are trying a variety of things to become more bike-friendly. Some perks include cash incentives, free bicycles, bicycle share programs, access to showers, and indoor bike parking. Credit Suisse in New York City, for example, provides its bike commuters with easy access to building entrances, a secure room to store their bicycles, and access to showers and lockers.
People who wanted a bike to work, and we thought, it's good for our employees. It keeps them healthy. It's good for the environment, so it's kind of a win-win for everyone.
To sweeten the deal for employers and commuters, Congress recently passed the Bicycle Commuter Act, which extends transit benefits to cyclists. In New York, Brooke Sapelsa, CNBC.com.
Some of it's gold, maybe some of it's not.
This jewelry party isn't like most others. These women are not buying jewelry, they're selling it. With the economy struggling and gold prices approaching $1,000 an ounce, gold parties, where women can cash in their old jewelry, are gaining momentum.
Gold parties work similar to Tupperware parties, Southern Living parties. A hostess invites all of her friends either in the morning or at night to have a glass of wine. They come, they bring all their gold. I weigh it and test it and pay them out money for their old scrap gold.
The payout depends on the closing price of gold that day, the carat, and the weight. Cooper Schmidt then sells the gold directly to a refiner and keeps a portion of the sales.
Yep, that's 14. That's good.
Linda Barone of Kearney, New Jersey, was looking for a night out with the girls, and she walked away with nearly $300.
Great. I had a lot of jewelry that I haven't used. Some has gone out of style, like the X's and O's, and some jewelry, was broken and I haven't used it. So it's been sitting in a drawer for 15 years. I haven't really missed it, so I thought, why not cash it in?
With the money she made, Barone said she's going to buy herself something new. But in this economy, some who sell their gold don't have that luxury.
I was at a party recently where there were 9 women and 7 of their husbands were out of work. One of them made about $1,000 and she was thrilled. And she had tears in her eyes and she said, now I can pay my mortgage this month.
Regardless of their reason for cashing in their gold, a party atmosphere makes selling one's possessions more comfortable, according to Professor Tom Mavis.
There's usually a stigma around, about selling your own goods, right? So it reminds people of pawn shops, and it's definitely associated with being in dire straits and really needing the money. If you know that your friends are doing it as well, that makes it even more acceptable.
In addition to a comfortable atmosphere, high gold prices, and a weak economy, Cooper Schmidt says failed marriages, ex-boyfriends, and over-the-top jewelry from the 80s have helped gold parties thrive. Brooke Sapelsa, CNBC.com.